Have you ever found yourself lying awake middle of the night, just staring at the ceiling?
Yeah.
You're completely exhausted, but your mind is just racing 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. That feeling.
It's that, really frustrating feeling where your thoughts just have this volume knob stuck on loud, especially when all you need is to just wind down and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
What if we told you there's this really profound, almost invisible link between that racing mind and your actual sleep, and that really getting it, understanding it is the absolute first step to getting your nights back?
Yeah, it's like an invisible thief, isn't it? This
Invisible thief, I like that.
It just sort of slips into your bedroom, fiddles with the lock on your brain maybe, and just steals that precious rest you really, really need.
And it's not just one thing affecting the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's key here from the sources we looked at.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating and maybe a bit scary is that it's not a one-way street at all. We often think, okay, stress stops me from sleeping, but the reality, it's way more complex. It's like a real feedback loop.
You really hit on something crucial there.
Yeah.
We're talking about a deeply interconnected, almost symbiotic relationship.
Mhm.
It's bidirectional. So poor sleep can actually ramp up your stress levels.
Right.
And then high stress, of course, causes sleep problems. It creates this really challenging, vicious cycle that once you're caught in it, it feels almost impossible to get out of.
Totally. You get stressed, you can't sleep. Then, because you haven't slept, your brain is even more vulnerable to stress the next day. It just keeps feeding itself.
Yeah, exactly. A self-perpetuating loop.
Precisely. And when we talk about, healthy sleep, what are we actually talking about? It's a naturally recurring state, mind and body.
Okay.
It's characterized by altered consciousness, yeah, but also reduced sensory activity, less muscle activity. And crucially, it's this vital period for repair, recharging. Your whole system needs it.
It's not just about feeling less tired then.
Oh, not at all. It's about deep physical and mental restoration. And the guidelines are pretty clear for adults. You need somewhere between 7 to 9 hours consistently.
7 to 9. That seems like a lot these days for some people.
It does, but anything less, and you're potentially, setting yourself up for problems down the line, health problems, emotional challenges. Think of it like your body's reset button. If you don't press it properly, things start to glitch.
Okay, so how do we actually get trapped in that cycle you mentioned? What are the main stress factors, the things that really fuel this mess and stop us getting that restorative sleep?
Well, there are a few main culprits that just keep popping up. They consistently stop us from properly relaxing, from shutting down those mental gears.
Right.
One of the biggest, and maybe the sneakiest, is overthinking. Or rumination, if you want the technical term.
Oh, hamster wheel.
Exactly. That endless loop of thoughts, worries, replaying conversations, making mental to-do lists. It keeps your brain firing on all cylinders when it should be powering down.
You might be stuck on something from work or worrying about tomorrow or even like cringing about something you said 5 years ago. It's the absolute opposite of rest. It's like a mental marathon at midnight.
Been there.
Okay.
What else? Then, of course, there's good old caffeine. No, look, a morning coffee. Fine. Ritual, for many, can even be good for you.
Sure.
But having it too close to bedtime, that's basically sending a direct invitation to your brain to stay alert. Caffeine has a half-life, It
Yeah.
takes hours for your body to clear it. That 3 p.m. pick-me-up could still be messing with your nervous system at 10 p.m.
Wow, okay. That late. Yeah.
Making it really tough for your brain to switch gears into sleep mode. And maybe the biggest player, cortisol.
The stress hormone.
The stress hormone. It's the star player in your body's fight or flight response. Absolutely essential if you need to, react quickly to danger.
Right. Like running from a lion, historically speaking.
Exactly. But when cortisol levels are chronically high, maybe from nonstop work pressure, relationship stress, or just constant low-level worrying, it keeps you stuck in that state of high alert.
Mm-hmm.
This directly prevents the physiological relaxation you need to drift off and stay asleep. Your body basically thinks it's still in danger, even when you're tucked up safely in bed.
So it's not just that these things make it hard to fall asleep initially. It's that the lack of sleep then actually amplifies the stress response, creating that nasty feedback loop you talked about.
That's it. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, right?
Yeah.
Getting bigger and faster.
Yeah.
You're more stressed because you didn't sleep well, and then you can't sleep because you're more stressed.
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
It really is. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you feel groggy. It fundamentally dials up your stress response, your emotional regulation, often the first thing to go out the window.
You get more irritable.
Exactly. Less resilient to everyday hassles, quicker to get frustrated or angry, less able to cope with even small setbacks. And that, in turn, makes it even harder to get good sleep the next night. Your mind's already kind of primed for distress. It's a really damaging pattern, impacts everything: your work, your relationships, your health.
And I bet a lot of our listeners are really feeling this because the data, the actual numbers on stress and sleep, they're pretty stark,
Okay.
especially it seems for younger generations.
Absolutely.
This is where it gets, well, frankly, a bit worrying. It looks like we're facing a kind of modern epidemic of stress and sleep issues.
Mm-hmm.
And some groups are hit harder. The stats tell a story. Gen Z and millennials, they report the highest levels of stress.
Mm.
We're talking 44% of millennials, and get this, 48%, almost half of Gen Zers say they feel stressed all or most of the time.
Wow.
And guess what? They're also getting less sleep, averaging only about 6.5 to 7.5 hours a night, often falling short of that crucial 7-hour minimum we talked about.
Yeah, and that creates what you can only really call an epidemic of chronic sleep deprivation, especially among these younger groups navigating, a world that feels pretty uncertain and fast-paced a lot of the time.
Right.
It puts not just their mental health, but their physical health at risk, too. Sets them up for long-term problems.
Can you give us, like, a real-world picture of that?
Sure. Think about college students, right? Pulling all-nighters, fueled by caffeine and energy drinks, constantly stressed about grades, job prospects, fitting in, or maybe young professionals dealing with really demanding jobs, schedules that bleed into evenings, weekends, maybe student debt, the gig economy pressure, that feeling of having to be always on.
Yeah, the phone never stops.
Exactly. Sleep often becomes the first thing they sacrifice. They think they're trading it for productivity or social life, but then they find themselves less productive and more anxious the next day. It just keeps compounding.
It's not just about feeling frazzled and tired, though, is it?
Yeah.
There are actual, like, deep physiological changes happening inside us when stress messes with our sleep. The biology gets involved.
That's a really important point. What is going on under the hood when stress hijacks our sleep? Animal studies, which often give us clues about basic brain stuff, have shown some interesting things.
Like what?
Well, for instance, psychological stress seems to increase REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, where we do most of our vivid dreaming.
Okay, more dreaming. Is that bad?
Not necessarily bad. REM is crucial for processing emotions and memories. But stress seems to increase its duration, and this seems to be mediated by specific brain cells called cholinergic neurons. Think of them like little conductors.
Okay.
When stress is high, these conductors seem to dial up the intensity and length of REM, but too much REM, especially if it's filled with stressful dreams, which often happens. It isn't always the most restorative. You can actually wake up feeling almost as tired because your brain's been super active, not really resting deeply.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you mentioned stress hormones earlier. We need to talk about the HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Sounds complicated.
It sounds technical, but it's absolutely central. Think of the HPA axis as your body's main stress response control center. It's the link between your brain and your adrenal glands, the ones that pump out cortisol.
Right.
When you perceive a threat or just feel stressed, this axis kicks into gear, ending with cortisol release. Cortisol makes you alert, focused, ready for action, even boosts blood sugar for quick energy, essential for short-term danger. But chronic stress, it messes up the regulation. Instead of shutting off when the danger passes, the axis stays kind of switched on, keeping cortisol levels high. And that dysregulation is a huge reason why it's so hard to wind down and get into those deep restorative sleep stages. Your body's internal alarm system is basically stuck on.
Okay, that makes sense. And there's also an immune system link, something about interleukin-6, IL-6.
Yes. There's a really clear, strong link between stress, sleep, and IL-6. IL-6 is what's called a pro-inflammatory cytokine. Basically, a messenger molecule telling your immune system to gear up.
Okay.
Now, both sleep deprivation and psychological stress are known to significantly increase IL-6 levels. And when IL-6 is high, it triggers what scientists call sickness behavior.
Sickness behavior, like when you have the flu.
Exactly like that.
Right.
Tired, sluggish, maybe achy, just feeling generally unwell. Your body's trying to conserve energy to fight infection.
Right.
Normally, this is helpful, but when psychological stress keeps IL-6 elevated all the time, it creates this chronic low-grade inflammation. It not only makes you feel sick and tired, but it also directly interferes with how deep and efficient your sleep is. It's another feedback loop. Feeling run down becomes almost indistinguishable from being stressed and sleep deprived. It's like your body's constantly fighting an invisible infection.
Wow, so it really is far more than just feeling tired. This ongoing battle between stress and sleep has these huge tangible impacts on how we think, how we feel, our long-term health.
Absolutely. Let's start with cognitive performance, your ability to think clearly. Sleep deprivation tanks it.
Mhm.
Ever tried tackling a complex problem at work or studying for a big exam after a really bad night's sleep? Your brain feels like it's wading through treacle.
Totally. Simple things feel hard.
Exactly. Missing details, struggling to remember things. And here's the tricky part. Sleep deprivation can mess with your self-perception. You might think you're powering through okay,
Right, I'm fine.
but objectively, your focus is shot, your decision-making is impaired, your efficiency is way down, and this feeds right back into the cycle. High stress, poor sleep, poor attention, you're less able to learn, less able to regulate your emotions. It's a constant struggle.
And physically, what are the immediate things people notice beyond just wanting to crawl back into bed?
Short-term fatigue, obviously, and headaches are incredibly common.
The stress headaches.
Yeah. Combine that fatigue and headache with excessive stress, and they get much worse.
Yeah.
Your body's working harder, it's constantly on alert. That makes the fatigue feel overwhelming. And the headaches often come from that sustained muscle tension, that fight or flight thing. Tension headaches are making migraines worse.
Mhm.
And these short-term things, they can actually stick around for days, weeks, even months if the stress and sleep loss continues. They become chronic.
Okay, that's the short term. But the long game. If this stress-sleep cycle goes on for years, what are the really serious physical health risks?
Unfortunately, they're significant, particularly for your heart. Cardiovascular health takes a big hit.
How so?
Chronic stress keeps your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system, constantly activated. Over time, this leads to changes in heart rate variability. Basically, a healthy heart rhythm is flexible, a stressed one is more rigid.
Okay.
This sustained activation also pushes up blood sugar and blood pressure. Persistently high blood pressure, combined with other stress effects, contributes to plaque building up in your arteries. Atherosclerosis.
Right, narrowing the arteries.
Exactly, which seriously increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. And here's a crucial link to SLEEP. Your blood pressure naturally dips during sleep. It's restorative.
Mm-hmm.
If you're chronically sleep deprived, your blood pressure stays higher for longer, missing that important nightly dip. There was an alarming study. It showed just 1 hour less sleep per night can increase calcium buildup in your arteries by 33%.
Wow, 1 hour, 33%.
Yeah, and that calcium is a major part of plaque. So stress plus lack of sleep. It's a really dangerous combination for your heart long term, a constant silent strain.
And it's not just the heart, right? It hits our metabolism too, increases the risk of obesity.
Absolutely right. It's another direct consequence of that loop. When you're stressed, that cortisol release we talked about, it can directly increase your appetite.
The stress eating.
Especially cravings for unhealthy stuff, sugary, fatty foods. Comfort foods, it also makes it harder to control how much you eat. Then layer on sleep deprivation. Lack of sleep throws off the hormones that control hunger and fullness. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, goes up. Leptin, the fullness hormone, goes down.
So you feel hungrier and less satisfied?
Exactly. Even if you don't actually need the calories. Plus, when you're exhausted, you're way less likely to exercise, right? So you're burning fewer calories, too. Stress and poor sleep together are a potent recipe for weight gain and obesity, which then brings a whole host of other health issues.
Or beyond the physical, there's that huge emotional and psychological toll. Like thinking about work. Job stress must really impact sleep.
Oh, massively. It's a critical factor that often gets overlooked. The constant demands, weird schedules, especially night shifts, they just wreck your natural body clock. Feeling unsupported or unrecognized, dealing with conflict, or even serious issues like bullying or harassment, all of that significantly ramps up stress, and sleep is one of the first casualties.
And then that impacts work performance directly. Leads to poorer performance, less productivity, more sick days, higher risk of burnout, and both mental and physical illness. It's another vicious cycle. Stressed employees sleep poorly. Poor sleep harms performance and health, which can increase stress. It bleeds into every part of life.
And it can go even deeper psychologically, right? You mentioned PTSD earlier. 70% of PTSD patients having sleep problems. What's happening with their sleep, especially dreams?
Yeah, the link between trauma, stress, and sleep is profound and often devastating, especially concerning dreams. Studies, even looking at widespread stress like during the pandemic, found people reported more dream activity.
Hmm.
And often, those dreams related to past traumas, not just the current stressor. This tells us that significant stress, even if it's not one single traumatic event, can trigger these really vivid, often disturbing dreams, reliving past experiences.
That sounds awful. It is. And they aren't just images, they come with intense emotions: fear, anger, anxiety. You wake up feeling those emotions intensely. There's this physiological fight or flight activation happening during sleep. This leads to something called paradoxical insomnia.
Paradoxical insomnia. What's that?
It's when you feel like you barely slept, maybe just got fragments, even if a sleep tracker might show you technically got some hours in. Your perception is that the sleep was terrible, unrefreshing,
Why?
because your brain was on high alert the whole time, reacting to internal stressors, maybe reliving things in dreams. It prevents truly deep restorative rest. There's this disconnect between what the body did and what the mind experienced. It really highlights why we need targeted, non-drug approaches.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty clear, maybe even intense picture of how this invisible thief anxiety steals our rest, how it creates this ripple effect on our minds, our bodies.
Uh-huh.
But here's the good part, right? The empowering part.
Mm.
We are definitely not helpless here.
Absolutely not.
There are really powerful, scientifically backed ways to reclaim your nights, to disarm that thief. And the foundational one, the one recommended by major medical groups, that's cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI.
Yes, CBTI. It's short, it's structured, and it's a highly effective, evidence-based way to tackle insomnia symptoms head-on.
What's the main goal?
The main goal is simple: help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and feel more rested and functional during the day. And the results are impressive. 70% to 80% of people with primary insomnia see significant improvement.
70 to 80%, that's huge.
It is. That's why the American College of Physicians actually recommends it as the first thing to try, even before medication. Because it gets at the root causes, the thoughts and behaviors driving the insomnia, rather than just masking the symptoms. It's really about retraining your brain and body for sleep.
Okay, so how does it actually work? What are the core techniques in CBTI that make it so effective?
Well, at its core, CBTI zeroes in on restructuring those thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that are actively messing with your sleep. One key part is cognitive restructuring.
Changing your thoughts.
Exactly. It helps you identify, challenge, and ultimately change those unhelpful, dysfunctional thoughts and beliefs about sleep that are keeping you awake.
Like what kind of thoughts?
Like maybe you're constantly anxious about not sleeping, thinking, oh no, here we go again, another sleepless night. Or you have totally unrealistic expectations like, I must get exactly 8 hours or my whole day is ruined.
Yeah, that pressure makes it worse.
Definitely. Or worrying excessively about how tired you'll be tomorrow. Cognitive restructuring helps you break that frustrating nightly cycle of dreading bedtime. It teaches you to look at the evidence for those anxious thoughts, reframe the misconceptions, and develop a more realistic, helpful perspective. That naturally promotes a calmer state, making sleep easier. It's about changing your whole relationship with sleep.
That makes so much sense. So much of the struggle is mental. And then there's something called stimulus control. Sounds like it's about the environment.
It is, very much so. Stimulus control is all about breaking negative associations with your bedroom and the act of trying to sleep. A lot of people with insomnia start to dread their bedroom, right?
Yeah, it becomes the scene of the crime.
Exactly. They associate it with frustration, wakefulness, failure. They might also do stimulating things in bed: eating, watching intense TV, working, endlessly scrolling on their phone.
Guilty.
Stimulus control helps you literally reclaim the bedroom as a place for restful sleep. Practically, it means forging a strong, positive link between bed and sleep only.
So rules.
Simple rules: use your bedroom only for sleep and sex, nothing else. And if you can't fall asleep within, say, 15-20 minutes, get out of bed.
Get out.
Yes, go to another room. Do something quiet, relaxing, not stimulating. Read a physical book under dim light. Listen to calm music, maybe some gentle stretching. Only go back to bed when you feel genuinely sleepy again. The goal is to break that negative conditioning and retrain your brain. Bed exceeds sleep.
That sounds tough, but powerful. And what's great is how accessible these things are getting. It's not always about finding a therapist anymore, is it? There's digital CBTI DCBT.
Absolutely. The rise of digital CBTI apps has been a total game changer for accessibility. Tools like the VA's CBTI Coach or various commercial apps offer structured programs right on your phone or computer.
So you get the core principles.
Yeah, you get the core principles, the exercises, the tracking delivered digitally. It dramatically expands access, lowers costs, and brings CBTI to way more people. Kids, teens, adults who might not have found or afforded a therapist otherwise.
And is it as effective?
The research is ongoing, but yeah, the improvements people see in their insomnia symptoms with DCBT seem remarkably similar to face-to-face therapy. It's putting really effective, evidence-based help right in your pocket. You can work on it at your own pace, in your own home.
Okay, so we've got the foundational strategies. What about those moments, when you just need to calm down now, an immediate tool to shift your state? Breathing techniques always come up.
They do, and for very good reason. They're a direct line to your nervous system.
Yeah.
One of the most popular and really effective ones is the 4-7-8 breathing technique, sometimes called relaxing breath.
Okay, 4-7-8, how does it work?
It comes from pranayama, the yogic practice of breath control. It's pretty simple. You place the tip of your tongue just behind your top front teeth on that ridge of tissue. Keep it there.
Okay,
Then inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4.
got it.
Hold your breath gently for a count of 7.
Hold for 7.
And then exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8, making a gentle whoosh sound.
In 4, hold 7, out 8, 8.
That's the rhythm.
And the key is the ratio, isn't it? So if holding for 7 feels too long at first.
Exactly. The exact seconds matter less than the 4-7-8 ratio. So you could start shorter, inhale 2, hold 3.5, exhale 4. The key is the pattern and consistency.
How often should you practice?
Practicing it just once or twice a day regularly can make it much more effective over time for managing stress and just calming yourself down quickly. It's interesting, unlike some medications that can lose effectiveness, this technique tends to get more potent with practice.
Why does it work?
It helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system, that's your rest and digest mode. It literally puts the brakes on the stress response, slows your heart rate, and brings on a state of calm, ideal for winding down for sleep.
And deep breathing generally, beyond just 4-7-8, has wider benefits too, right? Not just for sleep.
Oh, absolutely. The anecdotal evidence is huge. Everyone feels calmer after a few deep breaths. But the clinical findings back it up too. Deep breathing techniques consistently show positive effects on anxiety and stress levels overall.
Like what?
Well, they might improve heart and lung function, better oxygen intake, better blood flow. They can help lower blood pressure. Some studies even show improved quality of life for people with chronic conditions, and interestingly, potentially reducing migraine frequency and severity. It's a powerful, free tool you have with you constantly. Just focus on your breath.
Another really effective set of tools for finding that inner calm is mindfulness and meditation. And these often get taught within CBTI, which says a lot about their power.
Yes, they're integral to the relaxation training part of CBTI. Why? Because they directly target those racing thoughts and that physical tension. They help boost your body's natural relaxation response.
How does mindfulness help with sleep anxiety specifically?
A core idea in mindfulness-based therapy for insomnia is acceptance and letting go.
Acceptance, like accepting you won't sleep.
Not quite like resignation. It's more about recognizing your attachment to rigid beliefs about sleep. Those thoughts like, I must get 8 hours, or if I don't sleep now, tomorrow's ruined.
Right, those demanding thoughts.
Yeah. Mindfulness helps you develop a more flexible, accepting stance. You notice those thoughts and feelings arise, but you don't have to buy into them or fight them. You acknowledge them without judgment.
Like watching clouds drift by.
That's a classic analogy, yeah.
Yeah.
You observe the thoughts and worries without getting swept away by them. This shift in perspective can dramatically quiet that mental chatter that keeps so many people awake. It reduces the arousal and distress tied to not sleeping.
And if someone wants to try this, it seems overwhelming, but there are so many free resources now, right? You don't need to go on a retreat.
Absolutely not. It's incredibly accessible now. Apps like Insight Timer are amazing, huge library, over 100,000 free guided meditations for everything from sleep to stress, plus a community feel.
Okay.
Medio is another great one. Totally free, open source, really good for beginners. If you like a specific tradition, the Plum Village app has resources from Thich Nhat Hanh's Zen School.
What if someone wants something less spiritual, more science-based?
Then Waking Up with Sam Harris is excellent. It's more about neuroscience, the nature of consciousness, very sophisticated, and they have a generous policy if you genuinely can't afford it. The Healthy Minds program is another research-backed one. Lots of variety, even active meditations you can do while walking.
Active meditation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And don't forget YouTube. Just search guided meditation for sleep or mindfulness for anxiety. It's a massive treasure trove of free content. There really is something out there for everyone.
Okay, so we've talked calming the mind, CBTI, breathing, mindfulness. But what about the body? Sometimes stress just feels like pure physical tension, you
Yeah.
know? Tight shoulders, clenched jaw.
Oh, yeah. That knot in your stomach.
Exactly. And there's a technique for that specifically, right? Progressive
Yeah.
muscle relaxation, or PMR.
PMR, yes.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic deep relaxation technique because it directly tackles that physical tension. The idea is simple but really profound.
Yeah.
You systematically tense, then consciously release tension in one muscle group at a time.
How do you do it?
You'd start by, say, clenching your right fist tightly for 5-10 seconds. Really notice that feeling of tension.
Okay.
Then you completely release it for maybe 20-30 seconds. And you actively focus on the feeling of relaxation, warmth, maybe looseness that flows into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then you move systematically through your body, feet, calves, thighs, abdomen, chest, arms, shoulders, neck, even your face muscles. Tense, then release and notice the difference.
And what are the benefits, especially for sleep?
It's remarkably effective for general stress and anxiety control. It definitely helps relieve insomnia symptoms, and it can even help with chronic pain. Why? Because it literally teaches your body how to let go of tension.
Right.
Many people find doing PMR right before bed really helps them fall asleep. It's like sending a physical signal, okay, body, it's safe to relax now. Crucially, it also makes you much more aware of where you hold tension during the day.
So you can catch it earlier.
Exactly. You learn to notice that jaw clenching or shoulder hunching and consciously release it before it builds up and starts interfering with your sleep later. It's like giving yourself a deep internal massage.
Okay, beyond the techniques and therapies, what we eat and drink plays a massive role too, doesn't it? Often underestimated. Let's talk dietary hacks. It feels like food can genuinely be part of our calming chemistry.
It absolutely can be. It's
Yeah.
a vital piece of this whole puzzle. Your body is a complex chemistry lab, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain foods naturally contain sleep-regulating hormones like melatonin or key brain chemicals like serotonin and GABA, those neurotransmitters that promote calm. Plus, they provide essential nutrients like magnesium and vitamin D, which all play roles in sleep and stress management. It's not just about avoiding the bad stuff, but actively choosing the good stuff.
Okay, so what are some of these sleep superstars? What should we be looking out for?
Let's group them a bit. First, things that directly boost melatonin, your main sleep hormone. Tart cherry juice. This is one of the best natural sources. Studies show it can really improve sleep quality, even help with insomnia.
Interesting. Tart cherry.
Walnuts. Great for healthy fats, yes, but also one of the top food sources of melatonin.
Okay.
And oatmeal. Good complex carbs plus a little natural melatonin makes for a soothing bedtime snack for some.
Okay, melatonin boosters. What else?
Next, nutrients for relaxation. Things like magnesium and tryptophan. They calm the nervous system, provide building blocks for sleep chemicals.
Got it.
Almonds, total powerhouse. Packed with magnesium vital for muscle relaxation and nerves, plus B vitamins and even some melatonin. Getting enough magnesium is often linked to better sleep, especially if you struggle.
Almonds. Good snack.
Turkey, the Thanksgiving sleepiness. Not entirely a myth. It has tryptophan, which your body uses to make serotonin and melatonin. Plus, the protein helps keep blood sugar stable.
Right.
Dairy products, milk, yogurt, cheese also have tryptophan. That warm glass of milk tradition has some basis. And bananas are great for magnesium and potassium, both natural muscle relaxants.
Okay, relaxation nutrients. What about calming compounds?
Yeah, things with antioxidants or compounds that gently nudge your brain towards rest.
Mm-hmm.
Chamomile tea, the absolute classic. It's rich in something called apigenin, an antioxidant that binds to brain receptors, promoting sleepiness and reducing insomnia. Mildly sedative.
Chamomile.
Always reliable.
Kiwis. Surprisingly good. High in fiber, antioxidants, and serotonin itself, which regulates sleep cycles. Some research hints the vitamin C might help too.
Kiwis.
Who knew? Passion flower tea, another herbal helper, contains antioxidants and might increase GABA, that calming brain chemical that inhibits stress signals, promotes calm, reduces anxiety.
Okay. And finally,
things for general brain health and sleep support.
right,
Fatty fish salmon, tuna, trout, mackerel. Excellent source of vitamin D and those omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. Vital for brain health, and they seem to help regulate serotonin and melatonin, potentially improving sleep quality.
Okay, lots of good options there. What about white rice? I feel like I've heard that mentioned, but it sounds less healthy. Ugh, white rice. It comes with a big asterisk. It has a high glycemic index, meaning it spikes blood sugar quickly.
Right.
The theory is the subsequent drop in blood sugar might make some people drowsy, aiding sleep if eaten a few hours before bed. But the evidence is pretty mixed, and it seems to apply more to specific groups like athletes. For most of us, focusing on those other nutrient-dense options is probably a better bet for long-term sleep health.
Makes sense. But with all these amazing foods, timing is crucial, isn't it? You can't just wolf down a salmon dinner right before hitting the pillow.
Oh, absolutely critical. Timing is everything. To get the benefits and avoid digestive trouble like acid reflux, which will definitely wake you up, it's best to eat these foods or any main meal 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to bed.
Give your digestion time.
Exactly. Let your system process things without working hard when you're trying to rest. And generally, a regular eating schedule helps too. It supports better digestion overall and syncs up better with your body's natural rhythms, which also influences sleep.
And on the flip side, what should we absolutely avoid near bedtime?
Right, the definite sleep disruptors.
Alanis.
Sugary foods,
Yeah.
desserts, candy, even sugary drinks, blood sugar roller coaster.
Yeah.
Bad for sleep.
Hmm.
Spicy foods can cause indigestion, heartburn, uncomfortable when lying down.
Right.
Heavily processed or very fatty foods, they take longer to digest, can cause discomfort, reflux, just general gut upset.
Okay.
And the big two, of course, caffeine. We know why. And alcohol.
Ah, the nightcap myth.
Totally a myth. It might make you feel drowsy initially, sure, but it severely messes up your sleep quality later in the night, especially REM sleep. You wake up feeling unrested, often dehydrated. Both caffeine and alcohol are definite no-nos anywhere near bedtime if you want good sleep.
Wow, what a deep dive this has been.
Yeah.
We've really unpacked so much about this complex relationship between stress, anxiety, and our sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen how anxiety really can be that invisible thief, stealing our rest from the deep biology involving the HPA axis and IL-6 to the ripple effects on our thinking, our physical health, our mood.
Yeah, the impacts are huge.
But the really empowering thing, the main takeaway here, is that we are absolutely not stuck. We have this whole toolkit of accessible, proven strategies to break that cycle, to get our restorative rest back.
Exactly. From those solid evidence-based therapies like CBTI with its powerful techniques like changing thoughts and reclaiming the bedroom,
Right.
to those immediate calmers like the 4-7-8 breath or cultivating that inner peace with mindfulness and meditation. We also covered releasing physical tension with PMR and really nourishing our sleep through smart food choices, understanding the what and the why. It's a really comprehensive set of tools. Each one offers a slightly different angle, but they all work together towards a calmer mind and a much better night's sleep. It's about giving you back control.
So as you go about your day, maybe heading towards the evening, just consider this. How much of your waking life, your energy, your focus, your patience, your overall happiness is really shaped by how well you slept the night before?
It's profound when you think about it.
It really is. So what small, consistent shift could you make in your nightly routine, maybe starting tonight? What one thing could start that ripple effect towards a calmer mind and a more vibrant, energized you tomorrow? Think about it, because even one small step tonight really can lead to a healthier, happier tomorrow.